What are the top 10 best video games of all time? Especially coming from a non-gamer who knows absolutely nothing about gamers. So my opinion should be listened to very carefully. I'm about to present to you the weirdest case for a video game list ever. My list is stranger than anything that IGN could put out, that anyone could put out, alright? A lot of video game fans are going to be scratching their head in confusion as to how I could rate certain video games above the others. Please don't get mad or triggered about this. This is not supposed to be rage bait. This is just an honest opinion from a dude who doesn't know shit about games. My video gaming experience has been consolidated to the use of the PS2 and PS3, alright? I have touched a PS4 and an Xbox from friends and cousins, but most of my gaming experience has been through these consoles, alright? So I'm pretty much an old soul in the video game world. When it comes to games that I haven't played to the point where I can even rank them on a list, but I can appreciate them from a storytelling level, from a lore level, and just how cool they look, my list would be very, very different. My list would probably involve Silent Hill because Pyramid Head used to scare the shit out of me. Batman Arkham Asylum, the Arkham games, of course. The Spider-Man, at least the first game. I like the second game too. Bloodborne, craziest Lovecraftian lore ever. Expedition 33, Diablo. I love the cinematics in Diablo. Alright, I'm just talking from a cinematic point of view. Watching the Archangel Michael fight a bunch of demons, or farming over all of them, that's pretty sick. Last of Us, of course. You know what blows my mind about Last of Us? And that TV adaptation they did? I have nothing against this actress. I know a lot of people hate on her. She gets a lot of shit and all that, but I genuinely don't know how you fumbled the best casting for Ellie possible. Kaylee Spaney. It bungles my mind how that was possible. I don't know how y'all did that. Hollywood is just fumbling every 2 seconds. Of course, Slender Man 8 pages, OG days. I love this type of shit. Subnautica, I love watching the gameplay, alright? I haven't played it myself, okay, so I can't even list it. But I like watching it. You know why? Because I'm a fan of anything that's underwater involving big sea monsters. It gives me thalassophobia. Look at the gargantuan Leviathan, for fuck's sake, man. Look at that beautiful, beautiful beast. Alright, now we're going to go into honorable mentions for best video game of all time. Alright? Sifu is a game I played recently at a friend's house. Basically, the goal of the game is you need to take revenge for your father or master that got killed by this clan. And you're going to kill all of them. And you're going to die as well. And every time you die, you can come back to life, but you've aged a couple years. That's the gimmick to this game, and it's pretty fun. The combat mechanics, the story itself, everything about it, really, really fucking cool game. Terminator Salvation. Oh man, I can already sense the cringing from the other side of the screen here. Terminator Salvation. Look, I was a child when I played this. I was a child when the movie came out. I was a big fan of the movie when it came out, and I will go to the deathbed saying that this movie is a bit underrated. Could have been way better and could have the potential to be the best Terminator movie. I'm just going to say that right now, okay? But I really liked the Terminator Salvation game. I played it in 2 days with my brother, and I fucking loved every minute of it. I'm not even going to cap. Marvel Ultimate Alliance. What the hell is this? Who the fuck? Marvel Ultimate Alliance #1. Played it with my friends as a kid. 2009, 2008, I was playing this. We were all teaming up together, fighting a bunch of robots on Dr. Doom's ship or whatever. I love the opening cinematics. That's my favorite part about this game. Every time I plugged the game in, I would just anticipate watching this. I wish I had a scene like this in Avengers Doomsday, man. Wolverine, Spider-Man, Thor, Cap, man, all in one, just killing a bunch of robots, beating the shit out of a bunch of Doom soldiers. It's awesome. Spider-Man Web of Shadows. I don't know about you guys, but when the trailer for this game came out, I was never more hyped for a video game. The music that's playing as he's about to fight a symbiote Wolverine and a 3-headed Venom kaiju monster. Come on, man! I know there's a bunch of other Spider-Man games that came after this, like the Dimensions one, where Spider-Man 2099 and Spider-Man Noir are there too, like that. I never got to play that, though. But this, fucking love it. Injustice, Gods Among Us, Mortal Kombat with my favorite DC superheroes. How can you not love it? Aliens Dark Descent. I actually think this video game does a great job at like combining the alien lore together. You got space jockeys in it. You got what happens when a xenomorph impregnates a fucking space jockey. It's awesome. Love it. Mario Kart, of course. Alright. No more fooling around. We're getting right down to it. The top 10 best video games of all time from someone who doesn't know shit. Here we go. Number 10. Y'all ready for this? Doom Eternal. Come on, man. You guys can give me credit for this. You guys agree. You gotta put some space for Doom. I haven't played a lot of this game, to be fair, but my friend introduced me to it. He made me play it, and I became a fan. I like the gameplay. I'm a big fan of using a chainsaw to cut off demons' heads. I really, really like that. I'm a big fan of this. A big, giant titan demon. I'm a big fan of giant monsters. I think that's what it comes down to. This stuff really does affect my experience with games and movies. I love the idea that you get to fight a creature like this. The gameplay is pretty fun, and you have a badass main protagonist who fucking got his bunny stolen or whatever, and now is killing a bunch of demons. Like, it's awesome. It's awesome. I can't complain. Number 9. Need for Speed Underground 2. I told you guys this list is strange. Racing and fighting games played a big part in my childhood, y'all. I have a story about this. I remember my dad randomly came to play with me one day because I really enjoyed the split screen, the multiplayer aspect of these games. Those games I like the most because I get to have fun. I'm not the kind of guy who used to go on a single player campaign all the time. I had a brother that I wanted to play multiplayer games with. That's why racing games and fighting games are big. My dad, there are these sexy women that come up in like the opening of these games saying, drive safely. They're telling you the rules of driving, even though you know you're going to crash into your opponent. And I could see my dad just nodding along with the sexy chick, okay? And as a kid, I always wondered, why is my dad nodding along to the rules of driving, to the random sexy chick is saying? As a kid, I didn't understand it. But as an adult, I can look back on it and it's my dad is trying to save face because he knows his son is looking at him, and his son is looking at him looking at a hot woman on the TV screen, and his mother is just upstairs, and my dad's like, that's the kind of nod that my dad was giving, trying to make it look like he was just, everything's cool and normal, don't worry, doesn't matter if there's a sexy woman on screen. It was really awkward for him. Now I understand it, looking back on it. But I was a big car fan. Probably Fast and Furious had a lot to do with this, okay? I was a big car fan at the time. I didn't even know shit about cars. I just liked the idea of customizing one and driving it and beating someone with it, all right? I used to spend hours. There were events taking place at my house, all right? There were dinners. I was in the basement spending hours customizing a car that I could beat everyone's ass in, destroy my brother in. We would love this shit. Huge memories with this. I didn't even care about the story mode. I don't even remember what the story mode was. I guess you could just level up as a driver and beat people in tournaments and shit. But it was always the multiplayer aspect. I do believe this is the GOAT racing game. There is one game that's above it in terms of racing, but I do believe this might be the GOAT racing game. Why are there no more multiplayer racing games, by the way? Can someone from the gaming community answer this to me? Like, why? Why? Maybe there are, I don't know. Number 8. Here we go. Mortal Kombat. Now, don't ask me which one. I couldn't tell you. The 2011 one, I think, is the one that I played the most, but any Mortal Kombat game, most of them are pretty much the same to me. There's nothing like playing a Scorpion and having a get over here moment that actually works. You know the problem, though, is my brother would always use Sub-Zero and beat my ass and spam ice walls on me. Fucking hate it. Hate Sub-Zero. Hate it. Raiden, again, when he does that super flyby flash speed thing on you. You can't fight that. Like, Mortal Kombat, the problem with Mortal Kombat is it's nowhere near my favorite fighting game because there's a lot of just endless spamming you into a corner and whooping your ass. Like, Street Fighter, Tekken have the same thing, but Mortal Kombat can be even worse. I love the use of 2 characters the most, though. Jax and Shao Kahn, because when they uppercut people, that's my favorite move in the game. When you could just go back and do an uppercut and just knock them on their ass. These boys have the most damaging hits, especially Shao Kahn when he sledges you with his hammer and uppercuts you. I love it. Love it. Number 7. Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. Look, classic OG kind of game. Many people are probably going to nod along like, yeah, man, as a kid we used to play this. Now, this might not be your favorite Call of Duty game. I haven't played a lot of other Call of Duty. I mean, maybe played Black Ops something once upon a time, but this is the one I played the most with my brother. And that's just that. I just love the multiplayer aspect of you just get to kill each other in a location. Like, I love it. One thing I do hate, though, is because we're right next to each other and the split screen is there, my brother's just like watching my screen to see where I am, and I despise that. Like, you could use a map and see the dots of where you are, but my brother just looks at where I am and then just plays accordingly to that. And I freaking wish there was some way to stop that. Maybe there is. Maybe gaming fans are just laughing at me right now. But anyways, yeah, I like the idea of going to Brazil and fighting the cartel. All right, I like the idea of going to the Arctic or whatever the snow environment was and stealthing people and stabbing them. I like the idea of going to Rust, my favorite location to kill my brother with an RPG. And I would run and suicide bomb to kill my brother. I suck at the game, though. Unfortunately, I'm really bad at these shooters. Number 6. Alien Isolation. You guys don't understand how big a fan I am of xenomorphs. I'm a bigger fan of Xenomorphs than anyone you know. I promise that. I promise you that. Okay? Alien Isolation is also, in my opinion, and I'm saying this as someone who has limited experience with gaming, might be one of the best horror video games ever. I think many people would agree with me on that. There's probably tons of horror games that are better. I'm alright. But the idea of just like hiding from a xenomorph for the entirety of the story, and I think you're playing Ellen Ripley's daughter in this. I could be wrong about that. Maybe I'm thinking of a different game. It's phenomenal. It's a phenomenal game. It's really hard too. There are things that fighting the xenomorph is just really scary. You like you shit yourself, right? But there are things like you have to do stuff with modules and open up gates and stuff, and it's just like, bro, it takes a long time. Like there's a lot of puzzle solving to do in this game. I enjoyed it. Number 5. All right, top 5 now, guys. Things are getting serious. Speaking of sci-fi horror games, there is one that I think is unparalleled. And again, I've barely played any game, so that doesn't mean much, but still. Dead Space. Y'all gotta agree on one thing. This game will leave you thinking you have diarrhea with the amount of times you have to shit yourself. My palms are sweaty every time I play this game. And I'm gonna be honest, the Necromorphs might be the scariest, like, video game creature I've ever fought, right? Listen, I haven't fought many. Slenderman, Doom, the Demons in Doom, sorry. The Xenomorph, whatever the hell else. This is it. They're terrifying. Look, the gameplay's still fun. You got to shoot out the limbs instead of trying to aim for the head and shit and the chest. Like, that's pretty cool. But they start, like, flanking you from all sides. And I can only play in 15-minute intervals before I have to take a break. It's too scary. It's too scary. And my friends agree with me, by the way. It's not just me saying that as a non-gamer. It's one of the scariest games ever made. By the way, whoever designed the game is a genius. Because it's such a simple premise. You're on a ship, there's a freaking virus turning everyone into this. It's crazy. And by the way, the lore is also very interesting. I made multiple videos on this. The Brethren Moon, the markers, what came first is like the chicken and egg situation. I love it all. Love it all. Number 4. I don't even remember what I put in number 4. Actually, I think I do. Yes. God of War 3. Where to start with this? Look, in terms of gameplay, visuals, cinematics, and story, and lore, this is the perfect game for me. For me, it's the perfect game. Because I'm a big fan of the Greek mythos. I'm a fan of Greek gods, Titans. I love the idea of the god versus Titan war. I love Zeus. I love Hades. I love all of them. So the fact that I get to fight these people is awesome. The fact that I get to kill Poseidon and Zeus in the same game and also fight Kronos in the same game is awesome. Especially the scale and size of Kronos. Finally, someone does it right. It's the closest I'll ever be to being Perseus in the Clash of the Titans movie, right? Fighting Kronos in the second film. This is awesome. I love the idea of getting to tear Kronos open from the inside and rip out his intestines. That's sick. Look, all due respect to God of War 4, I'm not as big on Norse mythology as I am on Greek mythos. There's a lot of overlap, I get it. But I just personally enjoy the God of War 3 experience more. And the final brutality beatdown of Zeus is fucking incredible. Testosterone in my veins. Top 3. Alright? This is what it comes down to. You leaving, if you haven't left the video already, don't leave. But you might want to after you had these top 3. Because I've mentioned some video game goats. I have. But the 3 I'm about to mention might not be in that category for many of you, alright? Sorry to the seasoned gamers who have to watch this. Number 3 for me is Fight Night Champion. A boxing game. I'm a big fan of fighting games, and I'm especially a big fan of fighting games that are somewhat realistic and involve actual fighting mechanics. Not like Mortal Kombat where you can spam multiple attacks, uppercut someone in the air, bleed them out. No. This is real. You get to fight like Muhammad Ali and Tyson, and if you don't fight according to their fighting styles, you could get put out cold. Again, as someone who does boxing, who has fought, who likes fighting and martial arts and all that, it's so fun to actually show off some fight IQ and boxing mechanics. You gas in this game very easily too. You can get knocked out in this game very easily too. There's some issues with the game, don't get me wrong. If you do make it to a decision, some of the judging is a bit sus. Very realistic to the sport of boxing, so you can only clap for that, give it credit there. Some of the way people get hit and damaged and stuff, like it's an older game, it's an older boxing game, so there's problems with it, but I love this game. Played it with my friends, we love fighting as the elite heavyweights. We love fighting. It's just so fun. It's a game that you could play endlessly. Unfortunately, it stopped working on my fucking PS3 because there's some stupid thing where you have to update the time and date settings, and then every time I try saying, oh, network failure, hate it! Hate the fact that it's a digital game. I wish I had the hard copy. But there's nothing about... Try playing this with your friends. It's so fun. I actually like this game better than the UFC game, because the wrestling in the UFC game just kills the experience for me. It's so pathetic, man. But this, perfect fighting game in my opinion. I knocked Muhammad Ali out with Butterbean when I was fighting a computer. You'll never get to experience that in your lifetime besides this game. That's an experience right there. Butterbean knocked out the GOAT. Number 2. Y'all ready for this? What did I have here again? Oh yes, fuck, how did I forget? I made a whole video on this. Marvel Nemesis Rise of the Imperfects. Y'all need to understand. I think this game was overhated when it came out. Look, the single player, I can agree with you, the single player is not good, but the freaking multiplayer, just the fight mechanics of this game alone. You know what, man, I'll just be honest, maybe it is nostalgia, because this is one of the games I played as a kid endlessly. 2008, 2009, this was my shit. The 2007 to 2010, those years were just me gaming with my neighbors and friends when I first moved to the city I'm in, which I cannot tell you guys what city that is. I love playing as Spider-Man versus Venom. It's the best. It's the best experience. The gameplay, the fight mechanics, everything about it. It's got flaws, I understand, but bro, the fact that you get to throw vehicles at each other, use your webs to kill each other, like, it's awesome. I made a whole video on this, so I won't go into it too much, but this is a fucking good game. Number 1. Man, the problem is with this kind of list, there's no making anyone happy. But if you know this game, then you know. This was a game that was initially a commercial flop, and Disney killed it. I think the studio called BlackRock had been bought out by Disney, and they just discontinued this series, I think. There's a game, and it is a racing game. It brings the arcade racing game experience back. It's called Split Second. I hope there's people in the audience like just watching, like cheering right now, because of how, if you remember this game, this is one of the most fun games to ever play on a multiplayer mode, let alone single player mode. Bruv, I think it's like you're in a reality show in the game called Split Second, where you basically are racing each other, but you get to destroy each other at the same time, and not by crashing into each other. Well, you can do that too, but there are obstacles and things that you can do with power plays. You can bomb each other to death. Yeah. That's a cool game. That's a simple premise. Race? Okay, let's hurl a fucking tank with a helicopter at a bunch of cars in front of you. You don't have to finish last. You can blow the people in front of you up, but you can die very easily as well. You can crash in an instant. That's why it's called Split Second. I think this is a goated multiplayer arcade race experience, the best one. Bro, you can hurl an airplane at each other. Very few games do this, and there's not many. I purposely look in some gaming stores, and then when I'm in the Walmart too occasionally, I'll check, bro, are any of these racing games multiplayer? They're not! They're not! What happened? You can orchestrate 9/11s on each other. You can orchestrate literal terrorist attacks where multiple towers are falling on each other. You can blow up an entire factory on each other. Split Second, in my opinion, is the best game of all time. This is my favorite list of all time, not the objectively best. I haven't played enough games to know what's objectively the best. If I was talking about objectively what's the best gaming experience out of all, I'd probably still put God of War 3. But in terms of like just pure fun and just memories and what you can do on a multiplayer level, it's Split Second. And multiplayer counts a lot to me because it's just an opportunity to have fun with the guys, with the boys, you know? Instead of one person just watching the other play a single player mode. Like that's personally me, man. I know a lot of people are probably cringing and laughing their asses off like what kind of bullshit list is this. You gotta know what you're dealing with here. I'm a movie guy. I don't play games. Alright? Clearly, you can tell by my list I don't play a lot of games. But I swear, I think I missed 2 games that I played that I really liked too. That's the worst part, and I just can't remember them. But regardless, that's my list, guys. Let me know what you think. What's your list? Let me know in the comments. Bye. Ladies and gentlemen, we are on a mission to take over Hollywood. But the army must keep growing. If you want to suggest video topics to me, or talk about your favorite movies or favorite film theories in a community with like-minded individuals, join the Zafy Discord now. Link is in the description and the comment section as well. Join us. This movement is just beginning. We're taking over Hollywood, one coke line at a time.